born in Eritrea, and my mother, she's Eritrean, of Eritrea. It's my story where I'm going to write, I wrote a book. I wrote a book in the name of my mother. She's Mama Demmechesc. I will read something of the book, and what they have got in Italian, and it's in English, and I translated it even in Tigrinya, the mother of her language. But this you can find through internet about the story. Then I sit down and I just read some words of my book. I'm sorry, I'm so first of all, I say thanks to Gineth, say for the friendship and for her help with the English translation. Gineth. Okay, how did Italy in Africa end up in Africa? They call it a scramble for Africa. As Europeans, mid-19th to mid-20th century expansionist movement toward the neighboring continent was called essentially began on the coast, Africa Central region, with the most hostile and least interesting territory for economic traffic. Remained independent for the longer time, starting in 1889. Turkey, France, Germany, Portugal, Italy, Spain, and Great Britain. Shortly before the First World War, and same state had made inroad toward the center of the continent, and Belgium joined the effort. Little by little, then, and country eventually regained independence, most passed to a state of being a protectorate before then moving on to actual independence. After all this, almost in Africa took the independence. Italy, the first showed interest in Eritrea in 1882, ended up holding the colony for a full 6 years. Somalia was next, with Italy held up for 44 years. Then Libya, 22 years, and finally Ethiopia for 8 years. This was the book I wrote when I was a kid. So I remember when I was 5 to 6 years old. The Italian government chose Eritrea as the seat of Italian East African industry, particularly in the metalworking sector. There was also a small shipyard in Massawa, some munition and armament factory were located in Asmara and were used for the conquest of Ethiopia in 1935-1936. The Asmara, they went even to Ethiopia. Extending approximately 230,000 square kilometers, which almost on the coastline, for a total for only 1.5 million people. The country of Eritrea essentially had the population of the city of Milan. But in a short time, the population grew to include many Italians who moved to Massawa, with a beautiful port on the sea, or to Asmara, inland. Indeed, the later area over time came to be called Little Rome, as we learn about this after. You can ask me some questions to answer. My mother, I have looked delicate, but she had an iron will. Mama Demmechesc had received no education and worked incredibly hard all her life. She was never acknowledged by her partner as a legitimate wife because of the racial laws in place at the time. Nonetheless, they raised 8 children together, despite this good looking back. One day, that partner, my father, abandoned us all for our destiny, for good. But incredible journey had started year before, when she reached Asmara on foot coming from the rural area around the new Eritrean city Asmara. Despite the many hardships, she ended her life. Most important of all, she had the strength on her own to keep us all together through this difficult year, which was not easy to task. At the time, the youngest child was just 1 year old, and the eldest 18 years old. Mirai, the strong and lucky boy, was a member of the previous life. Spent on the outskirts of Asmara, he went to great lengths to help our mom. I will always grateful for his effort. Since he passed away, I took up the battle as the head of the family, and was called to be my blessing for the marriage of my niece. Mom Demmechesc was strong enough to keep the family united through thick and thin, and who supported each of us with endless love. We were as an opportunity to build our own life in the end. We all settled down. We have worked, loved, got married, children and grandchildren, living lives in our long journey from poverty to prosperity. Writing this book is my way to express my gratitude once again and to pay homage to the memory of the great Mother Demmechesc. After all, I'm no longer searching for answers. So I do hope to encourage the youth of my time to ask themselves some important questions. Why we are here? Who truly loves us? What are important things in life? Being abandoned by a father who chose to return in Italy and leave us behind made me look at him from a completely different perspective. A man who had made some brave and daring decisions, such as setting off to Italian East Africa colony himself in first place, but when reevaluated cowardly and faithful self, when he abandoned us and never looked back. And no intent to hurt anyone with his memories, nor do I want to trouble my father's soul, despite everything he had been there for me during very eventful year of my life. Indeed, I could not exactly say that he might have missed by not having him around, but certainly now that he has lost the love and respect of his 7 strong, healthy, and sensitive children. Let me say that if you have some question, I'm ready to answer. Okay.
I just wanted to drive home the importance of his story. He is your original source that you're looking for. He had the courage and strength to write the story. This book is a love letter to his mother, who managed to raise 7 strong, healthy, intelligent children who've gone on to raise more healthy and intelligent and strong grandchildren. And the idea that back when they were monsters is outrageous. And this book is worth reading for anyone interested in the history of Italian colonialism. It's a first-person account of the strength of the African half of these people who came out and managed to succeed. And he went to the trouble of writing these stories his whole life. It's absolutely fascinating and entertaining. He lived an amazing life growing up in Eritrea, few years an Italian father who was very present, and then who up and left. And the mother continued to raise this family, even though she had been illiterate. It's just a fantastic story, and lots of lovely details of a childhood that was not desperate. It was happy in many ways. There's a lot of joy in this story. And it's been translated into English, and it's also been translated into Tigrino. So it will be distributed to schools and libraries in Mama Demmechec's village, and hopefully the locals will understand more of the history and the diaspora. With the English book, of course, he's reached relatives and more all over the world, because there are plenty of people with African parentage in dating from the colonialist era all over the world. So I wanted to get a close-up of the book, and we'll be providing a QR code where you can access the book, and it's a very entertaining story. It's not a heavy history, and yet it gives you the idea of what it really means. Okay? So.
And I'd like to say something about my father. My father was an engineer, was a professor, he was teaching in a university. But what surprised me, when I was about my age, I remember my father left when I was 10 years old, but from the 6th year up, I learned many things from him, because he was very clever. He built a projector. He had 4 patents. He designed a swing for an airplane. And he built something, bread for the train. He was a young engineer. I learned a lot of things from him. We have 7 brothers. Mama, she was already married with an Israeli husband, but he was not a good man for her. She had a boy. Our grandma, my big brother, my brother Nerayo, is the one to take care of us, but he was 9 years older than me. But the problem, when my father left, I didn't believe it, because he said, I'm going back to Italy. I go to Italy and come back. But after 1 year, he never come back. Mama, she took over. I just said, how a woman took over 8 kids? The old one was 18, the little one, Franco, now is an engineer. He's 1 year old. I was surprised. I said, oh, even today I think about it. Really, that was my mother. They said, we have to study. It's like, it became like your father. I said, Mama, don't say that. I don't want to become like my father. Because at the time, for us, we are forbidden to go to school. Was no school, because we were born from a black mother and a white father. And my father never kissed us, he never take care of us. We study at home. We brought a teacher to teach, but after when the British colony came, that they changed. It was a school for us, was everything. And we took her. I work always overseas. I learn my English by working. I don't have any degree in school, any license, any diploma, nothing. But when I came in Italy, was the problem when they deposed the Emperor Haile Selassie in 1975. We have to leave Asmara, Eritrea. Most Italians, and most like me, Italo-Eritrean. With my family, we came to Italy. Italy was very heavy for us. But I was working in Saudi Arabia. I was training military personnel. My dream, even when I was kids, I would like to be a mechanic. And without going to school, without any school, I learned a lot. I became even shop foreman, and I worked even in the state in a big industry factory, built engines, diesel engines for Navy, and now to diesel engine for electricity for a big company. That's what I learned a lot, just by working and thinking about my family. I was the fifth son of my mother, the circle for my father. We all ate together, we worked together, we stayed together, and we blessed our mother. My mother, she died when she was 88 years